Ikram from Italy.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
So my question is, I have kafir classmates that mock my religion. I don't know how to make them stop. Barakallahu feekum.
Ignore them. Dogs that bark don't bite, let alone small chihuahua. So whenever they speak about your religion, don't even defend it, don't even argue with them or reply to them. Totally boycott them and leave them. No matter what they say, as if they are a fly that is flying and you just say this. When you pay attention to what they say or give them prominence, they will increase and think that their words have value. Totally ignore them as if they are a piece of trash, and they are a piece of trash, and focus on other guys or colleagues that are more worthy of communicating with. Our first caller for today is Sulaimani from Germany.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, Sheikh, a few days ago, I asked you about this situation that in my company, I take this documents for a period of time, because if somebody takes a complaint and we go in court, and you say it's no problem. But what I was a little bit confused is, since I take a little bit of knowledge, I heard that they are, in Germany they make man-made laws, and I heard this is not permissible. And I didn't doubt your knowledge, but I want that you can clarify me why it is permissible for me, for example, to take the documents in a file order.
Sulaimani, if someone comes and break into your house, what will you do?
I will stop the man.
If you can't, will you call the police?
I don't know if this is permissible.
Tell me, so that I can visit you and tell everyone to visit your home and to break into your house. You have to be crazy if you ask such questions and you're in doubt. If someone breaks into my house, I will not go to the police, because this is man-made law. What happens if you have a dispute with a company that stole your money? I will not go to the court. Let them take 100,000 euros of mine. Will you do that? Sulaimani, as I said before, Muslims have to man up. They have to stop depending on what scholars say over logical things. We cannot continue to spoon feed people like this. You have to deal with the university, man-made law. You have to deal with work, man-made law. You have to, if you don't have a job and you're laid off your work, the government give you benefits, man-made law. When you stop at a red traffic light, why are you stopping? It's not in the Quran and the Sunnah. Man-made laws. So are you going to question every man-made law? This is insane. This is not from Islam. If the man-made law goes against Islam, a wife, her husband divorces her. She goes to the court and she demands half of his property. This is man-made law against Quran and the Sunnah and Islam. She is falling into a very major sin, and if she believes that this is better than the Quran and Sunnah, this is kufr. This is different from protecting your trade, your company through documentation in case someone makes a fraud allegation against you and you need to protect yourself. Brother Sulaimani from Germany.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, if I'm not mistaken, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the first look on a woman is forgiven, the second, then we will sinful. And sometimes, for example, I live in Germany. When I'm work, most of the women, if not 90% of the women, are not hijabis. And when I'm, for example, when I'm talking with them, I don't know how to look and where to look. For example, when I look on the ground, most likely they will say this disrespectful, and I don't know. So my question is, Sheikh, what should I do in such situations? For example, my teacher, when I talk with my teacher, most of the teachers in Germany are women. So how to handle these situations? Should I look here and I will be excused, or what should I do?
First of all, the hadith relates to hijabi and non-hijabi women. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, lower your gaze, for you have the right in the first gaze, which is due to necessity, otherwise you're going to walk into a wall. And the second gaze is on you. The second look is on you. You'll be sinful for that. So whether she's hijabi or non-hijabi, you have to lower your gaze. Now, in situations where you live in a kafir country, it does not justify that they don't understand that we compromise our religion for their sake. So yes, when they speak to us, we look in the ground, we look here, we look there, but we don't look them straight in the eyes or in their face. And if they complain and say that this is disrespectful, tell them on the contrary, in my religion and in my belief, this is respecting women for not looking at them as dogs look at a bone. So we respect women by lowering our gaze and giving them their respect, rather than those who look them from up till down and taking their measurements and maybe enjoying what they see. They don't respect women.